Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be an update on the storm that's going to be happening across the Midwest, and right now it weakened significantly. So there won't be a foot of snow from the system, but there still will be some snow, and a possible in general the possibilities of a white Christmas for everyone. Not for everyone, but we'll talk about the possibilities of a white Christmas for the whole United States, and we'll also talk about a huge pattern change with the cold air and a very active stormy pattern. So let's get right into it. First off, you can see this is a storm we were talking about. I made a video 2 days ago on it, and now the storm is a lot more weaker than predicted, and it has shifted so much more south that, in fact, areas like Chicago are going to be red on the rain snow line. A couple miles south, the track shifts. Chicago's going to be snow. A couple miles north, the track shifts, and Chicago's going to be in the rain. And the same goes for pretty much everyone that lives on I-80, which is a highway that runs through northern Illinois, central Iowa, Nebraska. Even though central Iowa here will get a lot more snow because it will be on the colder side of it. But the totals don't look too impressive. They are about 1-2 inches. Earlier, remember in the week how it was showing up to 6-12 inches in central northern Wisconsin. Now it's not showing that much. But I do think that there's going to be more with this than the GFS is showing, because right now the GFS is underplaying what's going on in the upper Midwest, and there's a lot more snow in the upper Midwest now than they forecasted. So I think the same thing will be for this part of the world here, this part of the U.S. So southern Wisconsin, central Iowa, I think they'll get more snow. And let's now keep going and see what else is happening. So this system a couple days ago, this low, was gonna trek right over central Illinois and bring snow to Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin, but now it's shifted east and it'll bring snow to the northeast, inner parts of northeast. And here's where the models really don't agree. So here the GFS isn't really showing much for Christmas. You could see one little clipper passing by, but if you look at the CMC, which is a Canadian model, it's showing a completely different system. So this is the first system that passes. That's the first storm. This is the second storm. And this is the third little clipper that's going to be coming through on Christmas Day for much of Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Wisconsin. So these areas, if this were to be right, would see a white Christmas, including the Northeast. And then followed by another major storm, which both the GFS and the CMC are agreeing on. So I'm not talking anything about that because that is so far out, it could change a million times. So you can see this is the same exact storm a little bit further north for the GFS, but we're not talking about that now. So let's look at the HER model. The HER model has not come out fully yet to completely encompass the time frame of the storm that's right now happening in the Midwest, but you could see a lot of snow in the upper Midwest. HER model is also underplaying it, but see, we won't know where exactly the rain snow line sets up. The HER model is very good at indicating that, but it too can be a couple of miles difference, even a couple of tens of miles difference. So it can be 50-mile difference, which can make a huge difference for big metropolitan areas like Chicago and South Bend, areas like that. And so you see 18 hours, that's all it goes out to. It shows somewhere around here. Let's look at the GFS. The GFS is somewhere similar, so I'm thinking that HER model will be showing something similar to the GFS. If not, then I won't be making an update later on. This is going to be the last video on this storm, but if you want to go to tropicaltidbits.com and check out right here, mesoscale, HER model, and you should run through that in a couple of hours and see what has changed and what is happening if you're interested. And now let's look at the European model about that storm. There's something that fell in the background, but something that about the storm that's going to be happening on Christmas Day, the possibility of that little clipper in the Midwest. So here's the first storm. You could see the European model much more aggressive than GFS with this storm, and that moves on into the Northeast before the same story pretty much. Another system rising to the north, and here is where the European and GFS differ. Right here, GFS pretty much shows nothing, but the European shows quite a decent clipper coming from the south, and it could lead 2 to 3 inches of snow across northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and central Michigan, areas like that, before it moves on into the northeast. So we'll need to monitor that. I will probably make a video on that little clipper, but won't be making a video on this storm that's passing in the next couple of days. So I also just wanted to show quickly, guys, the temperatures. Not the temperature anomaly, but the actual temperatures. So you can see the storm passes through, cold front, Christmas Day. Let's go to Monday. It's going to be cold for many. Pretty much going to be below freezing all the way into pretty much Florida, panhandle of Florida. And anywhere you see the pink, that's below 20. So you can see this is New Year's Eve. This is during the night, and look at that, negative 20s for the night. I don't know if this is going to be that cold. Again, if there were to be, because the GFS is saying that right now there's going to be snow on the ground at this point. And if there's going to be no snow on the ground, and if GFS is wrong, then these temperatures won't be as cold, since snow is reflective and reflects the heat up back into the atmosphere. We can see the cold air stays and doesn't really go that much. So cold air expected. I will definitely be making a video on the cold air somewhere around Christmas Day, Christmas time. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys in the next episode.